Good afternoon, everybody. It's a wonderful Tuesday, and welcome to Reality Bites. I apologize for being so late today, but it's been one of those days, a crazy day here at work. But I wanted to make sure we did discuss David today as we pick up, again, the life of David that we're going over these next few days. I want to talk today about one important point, but it's going to break down to about two things: age and obscurity. Or better yet, if I could say obscurity and training. Now, we look here in verses 10 through verse 13 in 1 Samuel chapter 16. We find out here, we picked up where Samuel's still looking for who will be the next king of Israel. And at this point, the father is bringing every other son by. There's 7 kids. So far, he's brought by. God's told him, I don't choose like you choose. Stop looking at the outside and pick who I'm telling you to pick according to their heart. So here we have 7 kids have gone by. Samuel says, you know what? That's not the one. That's not who we want. That's not who we're after. Is there another one? I thought you had 8 kids. Bring out the 8th kid. And so we have the 8th one come out. But before he comes out, Jesse, the boy's dad, says he's out. He's younger. He's younger. And he's out tending sheep. So he says that he's younger and he's out tending sheep. 2 things to disqualify him from being the king, because the other 7 boys had what seemed to be the making of a king. So he's out tending sheep and he's too young, because tending sheep is not something that kings do, not something a prospective king would do. They don't tend sheep. And another thing about a prospective king is they wouldn't be this young. So Jesse disqualifies his son on these 2 things. But I would say it again: obscurity and training. Now, Samuel, I love his response, because he says, if you read in verses 10 and 11, he says, I know you got a younger boy, and until you bring him out here, we're not sitting down to eat. You will starve. He didn't say you'll starve, but you'll starve before we eat this food if you don't bring this boy out. So he brings him out, and as soon as he brings him out, there's a check in his spirit that this is the man, the boy, to be king. So watch what happens here. The 2 things that disqualify him were his age and his training, or his obscurity. Now, God says about this for you and I, don't be afraid of the age that you are in order to receive the promise or calling that God has put over your life. So he was too young. Some may be thinking they're too old and say, whatever it is that I'm going to do in my life, I can't do it right now because I'm too old. My prime is past. If you look at Numbers, the book of Numbers, we know they went to the promised land, or were to go in the promised land. And Caleb came back at 80 years of age and said, I still feel as if I was 40 and can take this land and take this promise. So don't let your age, younger or older, be a disqualifying factor when it comes to what God is trying to do in your life and in my life. Secondly, he's out tending sheep. So he's obscure. And many of us will say, you know what? I'm doing something that is not relative to what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be in this profession or in this field, but I'm really doing this. Don't look at that so much as a bad thing, saying that I'm doing something that's totally out of sorts, because God is using that obscurity and no one knowing you, and what seems to not be working for your final benefit as a training ground. You'll see later in the book of 1 Samuel that David, being a sheep herder, a shepherd, actually is the reason why he defeated Goliath. We'll talk about that tomorrow or Thursday, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Him being a sheep herder is why he defeated Goliath. So for you and I, for many of us, you doing what you're doing right now is in preparation for what you'll be doing in the future. So don't get lazy at it. Don't mess up at it. Don't think this is not working for me, so let me do something else. You keep at it and you give God glory as you do your hustle, as you're on your grind, at whatever you're working hard at that's preparing you, you do that thing. David was an excellent shepherd, so it helped him out a ton when it came to being king and when it came to defeating Goliath in the next chapter. So don't worry about the obscurity. David was obscure. Nobody knew who he was. He was sitting here as a shepherd on the back 40, watching sheep, protecting them from wolves. Nobody knew him. Don't be afraid. Don't be worried. Don't be stressed. Don't be anxious about the fact that nobody knows you. Because soon enough, God will place you and position you in a place where that won't be a worry. But the only way you get to be placed in a place where that's not a worry is when you're content when you are in obscurity. Because in your obscurity, listen to me, God is blending some stuff. He's hammering some stuff down in you. He's teaching you some things that you can't learn in fame, that you can't learn with notoriety, that you can't learn in the public eye. So if you're in the back on your own doing your thing, keep doing that and be open as God teaches you and pours into you all you need to be, preparing you for when he puts you on center stage and when he puts you up front and when he puts the responsibility and the baton in your hand. Listen, I'm done for today, but I love you all so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow, earlier of course, for Reality Bites. Have a great day. Bye-bye.